Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan.
And Angela.
From RNA Music.
Hey.
It's hoodie season, y'all.
Yes.
Your favorite mom and pop guitar shop music lesson studio deep in the heart of Texas. That's where we're at right now, and it's time for another episode of Ask RNA.
That's right.
Let's get to it. I know I hurt myself this morning too.
Oh,
I hurt myself too. Welcome back. It is episode 376 of Ask RNA.
Woohoo!
That's a lot of weeks
It is.
of answering questions. This is a video where we answer questions from people all over the world.
Yeah.
In case you're confused and expecting something else, we're just going to be talking and answering questions. Hence the title and the description and the timestamps. All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back if you're a regular, and if you want some swaggity swag, a hoodie perhaps, as we're winding up winter in Texas. Link down in the description of this video. Go down there and you can tap on the link.
Right.
It'll take you to our Teespring store where you can buy, not a beanie,
Nope.
but you can buy a hoodie.
You good?
You can buy a t-shirt. You can buy a cuppy cup. All
All
kinds
the
of
good
stuff.
things.
If you want to support small business in a small town, keep the music alive, go ahead and do that. All right. Let's get to the questions. All right. First question, Barb Mel from Leo. Have you ever heard of a guitar player taking some drum lessons to become more proficient with complex timing?
Ooh.
I am thinking about it. Hey.
That's cool.
I've not really had anybody do that for that exact purpose.
Right.
I do currently have a student right now who is taking guitar lessons and drum lessons. So he has a 30-minute drum lesson, and then we have a 30-minute guitar lesson back to back. So, and I told him, I said, this is really good for you because I was a drummer before a guitar player. So I did, 6th grade band percussion. So 6th grade, I started percussion classes at school, and then somewhere in around the 8th grade, between my 8th grade and 9th grade years, when I got into guitar. So I always feel like I had about 3 years of pretty solid percussion stuff before I started playing guitar, and of course continued my percussion stuff on through college. But I feel like having a couple of years of percussion before guitar really gave me a solid footing when it came to rhythmic things. Like rhythm isn't something I struggle with.
Rhythm is gonna get you
on guitar. So I think it can be helpful.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Sure.
Becoming a percussionist or studying percussion and drums can make you a better musician overall. Now I tell my drum students, I'm like, listen, you got 2 jobs. Really, I just have 2 jobs as a drummer. Number 1 is to hit stuff. Number 2 is to count. Well, actually, we count first. Number 1 is counting. First job is to count.
Yes.
Second job is to hit stuff.
Right.
But you got to hit the stuff at the right count because that's the issue. So it can definitely help with your timing. But every musician, every instrument's job is to have good timing. Right? If you're a guitar player, you should have good timing. If you're a piano player, you should have good timing. If you're a bass player, you should have excellent timing.
Right.
Because it's your job. You just have a bunch of other jobs
on
the guitar, bass, and piano besides rhythm. For drummers, it's pretty much solely rhythm is your job. So it can definitely help. I've never had someone who was a guitar player for a long time sign up to take drum lessons, though.
Right.
I have had people do both at the same time as beginners. And I have had drummers switch over to guitar, like myself, because drums are great and awesome and fun, and I love it. However, you can't write a song on drums.
Yeah.
Not a song with lyrics that you can sing to your wife or your husband or whatever. Right. So that's a pretty common move for someone who's a drummer to move into a melodic instrument type of thing. But you should do it, Leo. I mean, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, for sure.
You should. Thank you for the question. Next question. Just fun guitar. #Magneto. #KTMA. He-Man is in the Bible. Check out 1 Chronicles 25:5. It's Haman. It's not a he-man. His name is...
Sure.
Yeah. There's not a dash in his name.
So when I thought of He-Man, I thought of the actual mythical type strong man, sword, conqueror type thing. not just the name that's similar in spelling. That's what I thought you were going with.
Yeah.
With not just the name.
Not a Jewish name.
Yeah. Hemen.
Right? And then he said, I meant Steinberger, because he asked last week about Gibson taking over Strandberg. But I was like, I haven't heard that. I was like, but Steinberger, yeah, they've actually owned Steinberger for a long time. So that's kind of old news. And like, no, I've never played one. I've had my buddy Paul, the BitterBassMan, had a Hohner knockoff of a Steinbrenner, Yulebrenner bass, right? He had a Hohner bass that was like a coffee.
I was going to try to ripple into.
And I've played that, and it was kind of cool, but I've never played one of those. New questions. Does Angela like Burt Bacharach music? I feel like we've had this question before, like 200 episodes ago. And number 2, based on the algorithm, what is the optimum video length? Great questions. Okay, number 1, does Angela like Burt Bacharach?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yay.
I mean, and not only just the songs he's sung, like I can hear his voice singing like Raindrops Keep Falling. I don't think, no, he didn't sing that. BJ Thomas sang that, didn't he? Or somebody. Anyways, I can hear his voice. Yes, he sings a lot of songs, you know, but he's written a lot of songs. Like,
he's a prolific songwriter.
Yes, he is just all over the place. And you don't really realize how much, like, even like Dolly Parton had written and Willie Nelson had written and what's his name, who was on Blade?
Chris
Christopherson had written.
Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Chris Cross.
And then Burt Bacharach or what's his name? Bob Dylan. There's so many songs that
they wrote but performed by someone else.
Yes, that you don't realize fill up your childhood, especially if you listen to folk music from the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. It's pretty awesome how they influenced music. Even like Burt Bacharach did a lot of soundtracks, movie songs and titles like Alfie and stuff like that. So yeah, I really respect him. I thought it was hilarious whenever he was on Austin Powers. And they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Burt Bacharach. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah, that was funny.
You know, it's just really neat. So yes, I do. I really like his type of music. Definitely.
I think Metallica should do a crossover.
That would be awesome. I think I would love to hear Raindrops Keep Falling on You by Metallica.
Raining Blood. No, wait, that's Slayer.
That would be really great. I think that would be funny. But yes, I do.
There you go. All right, based on the algorithm, what is the optimum video length? Whoa, that's a good question because it changes.
Yes, it does.
From time to time. There was a point in time where it was like, you know, like 11 to 12 minutes was like the optimal. And then for a while, and it might be right now, it's like 7 to 8 minutes is the thing.
Yeah.
But
I think it depends on what you're doing.
It depends though, because like, you know, a lot of the videos I watch are long form. Right, so yeah. I try to catch a lot of filming nights. Like now it's a live show, but then I can't ever catch it on the live show. I always have to watch the replay, and it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours long, and it gets like 35,000 views. So yeah, it really kind of depends. I don't think there's a magic number. What's more important is
the content.
The content is however many minutes it is it engaging?
Yeah.
And is it super engaging for 7 minutes? Then great. Is it super engaging for 30 minutes?
Like I watched a video last night and it was like an hour and 5 minutes, but I noticed myself, I kept in the video about 30 minutes. And then I literally lost interest because what they were saying was kind of repetitive. And I think they made their point 30 minutes in and the rest of it was just a bunch of banter.
Filler.
Yeah. They could have cut it off. They made their point with 30 minutes of content. They didn't have to go the next 30 minutes, but yeah, it depends. But then I've sat and like intently watched like almost 2 hours worth of video on YouTube, and it kept me the whole 2 hours. So it just depends on the content.
Yeah, I don't think there's a magic number. As few minutes as possible to say everything you need to say.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah.
Don't bore us, get to the chorus.
I understand that.
All right, and now it's time for comment of the day.
Okay, let's do that.
Comment of the day, yeah. You make a comment.
Comment of the day. I thought I put this later in the day. I mean, later in the video.
Yeah.
Apparently, I put it early in the video. This is where we are gonna play some music. Very briefly. I didn't cut my fingernails, which I realized last night at band practice. I'm like, oh, fingernails are kind of long. Let's get in the way of playing. So, what are we doing?
I don't know.
This is where we play a song.
Yes.
And we're going to use
style of Burt Bacharach.
a comment from last week. Off the cuff, we're going to play and write a little ditty. Here we go.
Yeah.
This
awkward. The chair is awkward.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I know.
I think my guitar to be here.
That's okay. As long as you don't hit me, you're good.
Okay, here we go. There you go.
That was very Burt Bacharach.
You're welcome. I certainly didn't plan it that way. But, yeah, it was pretty nice. All right. Comment day from Leo Barbmeld. You always show class, even when someone wrongs you. I appreciate that. Hashtag Magneto. Ow! Dang it. I think I was wearing this last week. And then, like, it got better after a day or two. Now it's fine. And then literally this morning, I did something to it. I'm like, ow! Or last night, I was picking up something heavy again.
Yeah.
Crap. Yeah. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate that. I'm not 100% sure what that was about. I mean, well, maybe
I think it's a general rule that everybody should follow. Show class, even though somebody wrongs you. You'll be appreciated.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't avoid saying things just because it might hurt somebody's feelings or whatever. Because if it's the truth needs to be whatever. But you don't necessarily have to just really come out and really slam people. Just
the truth and kindness is always appreciated.
Stupid camera. See, I was not nice to Canton.
Yes.
Frickin' Canton camera. That's super old. Yes. All right, thank you, Leo. Next question. Brian Strasser. My favorite villain is the Riddler with Angela's, one of her favorites. Frank Gorshin was the Riddler in the Batman series.
Thank you. I knew. It was like,
Oh my God. The flip screen on my camera, it keeps going like, it flips us upside down, and it's super distracting. It wants to flip the wrong way. And great actor overall. Let's go, Brandon. What is your take on Badlands guitars? You should play the Babysitting Blues when you get the chance. Whatever happened to the young lady who made some music videos? I think her name was Kay. Hashtag Magneto. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we talked about Badlands guitars about like 2 episodes ago. So in the last 2 or 3 episodes, we had a whole segment about that. So go back and review that one, Brian, because we talked about it there. Babysitting Blues? Oh. We talked about whatever Adventures in Babysitting,
because she sings that, and there's a section where there's a blues section. She gets up on stage because she's chasing these kids, and then she was like, then she starts singing, and they're like, "Yeah, go out, babysitter." It's funny.
Huh. Well, I've never seen the movie, so I don't know.
We will have to see it.
I guess so. I mean, she shared that post though about the guy who was Thor.
Yeah.
What's it, Vincent?
Yeah.
The sugar.
Yes.
Water.
Yeah.
Kingpin. Kingpin. He played Kingpin, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't even realize it was him.
Well, he was pretty young.
Yeah. That's so funny.
A while back. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then, okay, we'll take this question. So what happened to the young lady who made some music videos? I think her name was Kay. Her name is Kay. And, it's Kaylin. Her name is Kaylin. Kaylin. She's a student of mine. And her last, she's not currently taking lessons with me, but she does play with us at church. So I drafted her into the church band at the church that we play at. And so I see her twice a week. at band practice and at church service. She plays the keys
Yes.
for us at church. And she's currently, because I was bugging her about this last week, I was like, hey, you haven't written any songs. But she's in school. She's in college right now. And she is like freaking like National Honor Society.
In jazz band.
Yeah, whatever.
All kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
she's in the music program there. And she's in the, is it Phi Theta Kappa or
Yeah.
is that the?
Yeah, she's like vice president of her
Yeah.
sorority and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's the National Honor Society, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever the academic stuff. So she's involved in a lot of stuff and has a lot of homework. And so, but while she was taking lessons with me, her assignment was, we got into, because she took guitar lessons from me, and then she started taking like music production stuff and songwriting things. And she had an assignment that once, it was supposed to be once a month.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we did it like once a month. It was like the third Friday of the month. You had to release a song. So she had to write something. And she used her keyboard, and there was a lot of MIDI like program type stuff and some playing things. And she did one, there was some guitar stuff that I actually made her record a little guitar part.
Yeah.
And she shot a music video to go with it. So she had to like get camera footage and not just write a little song, a little short. It could be like 30 seconds. It could be a minute. And of course, we talked about that, how there's a lot of music out there that you only need 30 seconds of music.
Right.
Or 1 minute of music for a TV clip or a commercial or something.
Right.
So it's not, you don't have to write freaking Stairway to Heaven, right? Or some long epic song, right? Just a piece of music that does something, right? And so she did that, and she actually got to the point she had done enough of them over the months to release an album. And so she did. And I'm like,
very good.
This is my first student to actually release a whole freaking album.
I know.
But it's out there on Spotify and, you know, iTunes, all that sort of stuff. And
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super rad. And I thought, that counts. Like, I have friends who've released instrumental guitar albums.
I love it.
And so this is like instrumental, ambient keyboard music type stuff. So yeah, we still see her every week. She just doesn't have time to write.
Yes.
But I told her last week, hey, there's a question. What happened to your music? And she's like, kind of busy. She's got cows to feed, you know, all this stuff. So.
And during the storm, they lost a couple of calves. So
they did.
They've been really busy.
They lost some cows in this last freeze. But yeah, so she is alive and well and doing very well at school. And I think actually we won't probably see her much longer because this next fall.
She's headed to Nacogdoches.
She's going off to
SFA.
Stephen F. Austin.
This thing that we do.
Axum Jacks, my college that I finally graduated from.
Alumni.
My alumni from SFA in Nacogdoches. So she's going to head off there. So we probably won't see her. By the end of the summer, she'll probably not be in the church band anymore. Yeah. Because she'll be in Nacogdoches, right?
Right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brian. Appreciate all those questions. Go check out, it was like 1 or 2 or 3 episodes ago we talked about the Badlands guitars. All right. Next question. Matt Hodges. I just love saying Hodges.
I know, it's a great name.
Hodges? That's awesome, Matt. Wow, that's an awesome. So many students of music. So is it mostly guitar lessons or drums? Do you guys teach keyboards as well? Question mark. Good show. Hashtag Magneto. Thanks for the video. Hashtag KTMA. Yeah, so we teach guitar, drums, bass guitar, piano, ukulele, and voice lessons.
That's right.
So we got like 6. Well, and that's not counting, like, again, I was teaching Kay, like, music production or songwriting.
Yes,
and
which we've
video
done for
editing
a few
type
kids.
stuff.
Yeah.
A few kids I've taught. Here's
and
how you
theater,
edit video.
we did, like, acting and theater performances with some of the kids because more my vocalists who want to do plays. So they come in as, like, I got a part in a play. I need to figure out how to do this. And so we do staging and stuff like that. So
Yes, because you were in theater and drama stuff. So you have experience.
I do.
We're really just a performing arts center. We kind of cover all the bases.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah, we do. And I have had, I took piano lessons as a kid, a couple years before percussion and before the guitar kicked in and took over my life. But then as a music major in college, I've had 5 years of piano. 5 years of piano in college, which is, college piano is more like in depth than your typical beginner lessons you get, as a young person. So I've had a fair amount of piano stuff. I'm not the greatest piano player in the world. I would never claim to be, a virtuoso pianist or anything like that. But certainly enough to teach beginners. I have yet have a beginner get to the point that they were where I was or surpassed me. Then I said, all right, I've
Right.
taught you everything I know. Let me send you off to Dr. Wright, who's the most amazing piano player I know of all time.
Right.
You know, so
We haven't had kids.
because usually, I mean, nobody takes lessons for forever. You know, and I think one of my longest piano students is maybe 3 years, maybe 2 years, about 2 years. And then they're like, you know, I'm kind of bored with piano. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just now getting to the point where you can play like some really cool stuff and now you're bored?
Right.
Good Lord. You know, if you're going to get bored at the beginning with the dinky beginner stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's a pet peeve of mine. We're like, you finally got to the point where you can kind of, we can start looking at some really cool, exciting music, and you have the physical ability now to do this. And then you're like, now you want to go do basketball? All right. Alrighty. You know. Anyways, but we do teach all those. If I only taught guitar lessons, I have a fair amount of guitar students, but I have less students. If I only taught percussion, you know, I think what's good for us is that we do all of the above. So that's one of the reasons we have a pretty full schedule is if you only taught ukulele lessons, I mean, how many ukulele lessons would you have?
2.
Right. At the moment. Yeah. And if you only taught voice lessons, it would only be. So because we are both multi-instrumentalists, that really helps fill up the schedule.
I think I have 5 vocal students, 5, 6, something like that, vocal students, and the rest are guitar and piano, split almost.
Yeah, Angela will take on the younger ones, sometimes like especially the real young 5, 6, 7-year-old piano students, and like, you know, get them going. And then if they actually stick with it long enough to really progress, yeah, I mean, that's the norm is kids want to try something and then they figure out,
it gets harder?
This is
I
difficult.
don't get to just do this?
Yeah.
Say that I'm playing the piano?
It's not just easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so there's always there's a fairly high attrition rate with the younger the kids are, the more like, I thought this was going to be easy, and I'd be like, you know, Burt Bacharach, and after 5 lessons, you know. No, you gotta practice every day, and this is a journey. This is a journey that's going to take a while.
It's what I think, especially for piano students. I think that YouTube has done them wrong with all the videos of the lights and them just mimicking a lot of stuff. And then their parents hear that, they're like, they must be. I was like, no, it's just like playing a video game to them. It has nothing to do with proficiency. It has nothing to do with knowledge. It has just
it's like
monkey
X,
see,
X,
monkey
Y,
do.
front bumper, left bumper, X, Y, up, down.
Right. It's just monkey see, monkey do. And then they come over to me, like I had an older student. He was in the junior high, and parents were like, he's just so good at this. I'm like, until I started teaching him, and he had to actually learn how to count and read music. And it bored him and made him almost angry and resent his parents for making him come, because he didn't want to do that. He just wanted to follow the lights and learn how to do that. So he's like, well, can I play something for you? I'm like, yeah. And then he would play the Michael, you know, the Michael piano, Mike Myers piano part, or, you know, something that he heard of a movie. And he was able to audibly hear it and then kind of pick it out. But
he said, hey, what notes are you playing? He'd be like,
and then he would know where middle C was, because I told him that, and he'd literally have to go.
I was like, you're not.
And I'm like, that's not how that works. I mean, literally, it repeats over and over again. Just remember where C is, and you can remember where everything is. But he wouldn't know that, and it's like, which C is it? Middle C? No, they can't all be middle C. So it's like, it's just funny.
It's like,
I did this really cool thing with the kids, and I was very proud of myself to be able to explain it to them. And it's very simple.
Lay it on me now.
But it's very silly and cheesy. But since I teach such young kids, whenever I would say, okay, where does this note start on? And they're like, C? Okay, now find that C. And they would move their hand up to like treble C instead of middle C, or they'd go down to bass C or something like that. And I was like, okay, listen, this is how you can remember these different Cs. Just because they have the same C, it's not the same C. Just because they're called C, it's not the same C. I was like, just like you have like 3 Jessicas in your classroom. They're all Jessica. But this Jessica has red hair. This Jessica has brown skin. And this Jessica is a blonde. They're all named Jessica. But if you talk to Jessica and say, hey, Jessica, your mom and dad are here, and you're pointing to the other Jessica's name, and people are like, that's not my, but your name's Jessica, but that's not my parents. That's not who I belong with. It's the same thing. It's like, this is a C, but it belongs to this family down here. This is a middle C, and it belongs to this family, you know, between the, and
this is a middle class family.
Yes, it's like,
a high class.
This C is like the middle C. It belongs between it's in the middle of the grand staff. They're like, oh, okay. I was like, you can't say that this C is this C. You can't play a high C because that's a whole nother C.
They're both C's.
Yes.
But some are higher and some are lower.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
So once they were like, okay, they got that, but it's still like pulling teeth half the time teaching.
Some people immediately get, okay, this one is middle C. Okay, why is it middle C? Well, it's in the middle of the keyboard, and it's in the middle of the staff, of the grand staff, so it's in the middle. Boom. And then this is a higher C. It just sounds, it's a C, but it's just a higher pitched C. Okay, got it. This is a lower pitched. Okay, got it.
Right.
And some people are like, what? Like their brains are just like, what? Like, okay, let me break this down for you. Ow! I'm like, God. I had a pretty good analogy that I came up with yesterday with Phoenix.
Love the name.
Phoenix is a young guitar student. He's just starting off, and he's like, it's a struggle. It's struggling. He's struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
And which is fine because guitar sometimes is a struggle. And I watched, well, it was Ola England interviewing John Petrucci.
Awesome.
On a Coffee with Ola. You should go watch that if you haven't watched it, because John Petrucci is just freaking awesome. And Ola's just like,
like a kid in a
candy store. I mean, like literally sitting there like interviewing your hero.
Right.
Like he's like, you're the reason I play guitar.
That's awesome.
And the reason he has all of this stuff in the channel and his own guitar cut, all this stuff, he's like, it's because of you. And John's like, oh wow. You know, that you can have that impact on somebody's life, right? But they were both talking. They're about how guitar, when they both started guitar, like it was hard, and then they figured out how to play something really easy, and they thought, I'm finally, you know, playing guitar. And then they discovered, like then he discovered Dream Theater, like, oh Lord, what is this? You know, and then same thing, John Petrucci was like, I could play like some simple stuff. Then he discovered like Al Di Meola or these other people who are like, what? Like just like extreme world class, phenomenal stuff. But they were saying, well, this is they both said it's a real steep learning curve on the guitar. And I was like, yes, it is. Like the beginning is the hardest, really, just to be able to make a nice sound and like, you know, because you push a button on a piano, you get a pretty sound.
Right.
The guitar, you like get your finger just right and just enough pressure.
Just like
and like
violin or cello or something like that.
Yes. Those are hard. So I was telling Phoenix, like, listen, man, there's a steep learning curve on this. So it's okay, but you just got to keep at it. I was like, you ever chop down a tree, Phoenix? He's like, because he's kind of a cowboy. Yeah. Like I can tell Phoenix is like a country boy. Like he's coming, he's got his boots on, he's got his trucker hat and his long mullet hair in the back. I like the kid a lot, man. He's just a nice kid. And I was just like, you ever chop down a tree, Phoenix? He's like, yeah. And I was like, with a chainsaw or with an axe? He's like, with an axe. I'm like, okay, good. Because the chainsaw's just like, you're just done easier. If you use an axe, I said, when I was a kid, I grew up on the ranch. I used to go out in the woods with my hatchet. And I would chop down, I mean, not big trees. Trees that are like maybe that big around. Saplings, you know, because I was a kid, right? And I'd be like, whack, whack. I just chop it. I said, and if you ever chop down a bigger tree with an axe, it's like, you don't just take one swing at it. You got to take a lot of swings at that sucker before it finally falls over. I said, see this measure right here? That one, you're going to take a lot of swings at it. And we did it. I made him do it like, I don't know, like 10 times. And it's like, on the 10th try, he was better at it than on the first try.
Right.
And then we could finally do it. I said, you got to be okay with swinging the axe a bunch of times at the same tree before it falls over. And he was like, okay, yeah, I got that. I was like, I mean, I don't know, that just came out of the blue. I didn't think about that. But as a kid, because I get that now. Like I understand. I may have to sit here and practice this one measure because it might be really hard. It's just because you're programming muscle memory. It's a game of repetitions. And then eventually, after a magical number of repetitions, it becomes easy.
Yep, it's easy.
And it wasn't easy. It might not have been easy the first 15, but on your 70th repetition, it's like, oh yeah, I can just do this like breathing. It's easy. So swing that. That was funny. Then I asked another kid later on. I was like, you ever chop down trees? Like, I'm like, okay, well, never mind. So, let me go open the door. You ever chop down a tree with an axe, Angela?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How big was it? Real big?
No. Gosh, no. When I use an X, yeah. It was an okay size tree.
Yeah.
Because Dad, I was out with Dad, and he was like, "Hey, start on that over there." Okay.
We got an axe in the garage right now. I was like, you never know when there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, or you got to chop down a small tree in your yard that's trying to grow through your concrete. All right. Thank you for the question, Matt Hodges. Final question. Here we go. Ken Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ken. How are you, man? He says, as an old-time subscriber,
yes.
Where's the BitterBassMan? I hope Paul is doing great. Hashtag Magneto.
He's at work.
He's at work. He's at work right now. He's still here in town.
Yeah.
He's still here in Canton. I texted him last night. Was it last night or earlier this week? I texted him because I was like, hey, you want to come play bass at church? Because he used to play bass at the church that we played at. I mean, the reason I'm at the church now is because Paul invited me like 10 years ago to come play guitar because they needed a guitar player. So he's like, oh, man, I haven't played my bass in like a year. I'm like, bro, well, church music would be a great place to get back into it, get back into the saddle.
Talking about easy.
Easy peasy, yeah. So, well, for most of this last year, he's had some health struggles. I'm not going to go into details about it, but it's like
none of anybody's business.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. He's
good.
fine, but he's had to go through some stuff and you know have a couple of surgeries, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Yeah,
but he is busy, and then we're busy, and typically when we film this stuff, he works in Dallas on Thursdays. We're normally filming on Thursdays, so he's not even in town.
Right.
When we film these. So, and we stopped doing the vlogs
a
while back, so I haven't shot a Saturday vlog in a long time. So that's probably why you haven't seen Paul, but I would suggest go following him on Instagram. He's on Instagram, the BitterBassMan.
BitterBassMan.
Paul DeJaro. You'll see him on the
gram.
gram.
Him on Facebook.
Yeah.
He's on there.
He's on Facebook.
Like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's active on the Facebook and the grams. He has a TikTok, but I don't think he makes TikToks.
Yeah, I don't.
I always tell him. I used to tell him all the time, like, dude, you need to like do a thing.
Yeah.
Like start a channel, do a thing. He's like, no, that's too much work.
Not really.
Not really.
It is too much work if you try to do all the extra stuff that they have on there. But if you're just filming yourself, just talking, like, I'm going to get my breakfast this morning, and then push pause, and then get your breakfast.
Deep thoughts with the BitterBassMan.
Or just sit there and like, oh, I'm editing this, bass part. Let me just practice this thing, and then just go through that. You can, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on there. There's people sitting on live on TikTok playing video games for like 12 hours of video games.
That sounds like fun.
So you can do anything. So we'll try to encourage him to get more socially out there so y'all can see him.
I don't see him all the time because we're both just real busy. He's busy doing his thing.
We haven't seen him since your birthday in person. Or no, yeah.
Well, we went by the clinic. We went by the clinic that he works at the other day because he texted me. He's like, "Hey, somebody crashed a car into the clinic." I'm like, "What?" And we just happened to be driving into town. I'm like, "Let's go over there." By the time I got there, I was like, "No, I don't see nothing." It was like they barely tapped the railing with their car.
No, they didn't.
Well, no.
No, they went all the car.
It was almost touching the door.
Yeah, the bumper came through the thing and knocked everything. They got the hammer and put it back in place.
Well, yeah, he said he hammered the railing back in place. I was like, well, he did a good job.
But they went up and drove up to when they opened the door, the car was sitting at the front door.
Yeah. They thought they were in reverse and they were actually in drive.
But they stopped the car in time before it went through the front of the building.
That would have been rough. But he wasn't there. When we got there, he was on his lunch break. Where's Paul? He's like, oh, he went to lunch. I'm like, dang it, Paul. So I took a picture of it and sent it to him. So it's like, we were here, Paul. Where were you? Well, I'm all gone. I know.
And we text him. We do group chats and stuff all the time. So
yeah.
Dorky, nerdy stuff.
And I invite him to stuff all the time. He's like, no, I'm okay. I'm busy. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul.
Hey, you want to go to the gun show? I'm not into guns, but we're like, it's just hanging out time with the boys. Oh, that's good. All right.
Guilt much?
At least I invited you. At least I invited you. He went to Jerry's and didn't even tell us he was going to Jerry's.
I know.
I thought we were all going to all go to Jerry's Pizza together because now it's open again.
Betrayal.
And he went without us. Dang it, Paul. All right, that was the final question. Thank you, Ken. Go follow Paul on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find him there.
Yes.
Being Paul.
Paul. In his Paulness.
Yeah, Darth Polymus. All right, and that was the video for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching the whole thing. If you watched this entire thing from beginning to end, you're super special. And now it's time for secret hashtag of the day. You have an idea?
No. Battle axe.
Hashtag battle axe. That'll work. Battle axe. Hashtag battle axe. I was just, chopping trees, but, battle axes are effective too. Hashtag battle axe. We'll know that y'all watched this whole thing. And all of y'all who are super cool will also know that you watched the whole thing. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves, all the super cool people. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Again, subscribe, thumbs up, play the video, all the things to help it reach a new audience. And we'll see you the next time. If you have a question for next week, leave it below. We'll pick from comments for a song next week too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll be back to normal. Full throttle.
Ryan.
Can play some speed metal instead of Burt Bacharach, but we'll see what happens. Well, thank you guys so much. We gotta go to work. Till next time, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive for the next generation.
That's right.
Of kids who don't know how to use axes. Some of them do. Country boys
will survive.
know how to use an axe. All right.
Yes, they do.
Chopping down.
And country girls.
And country girls. Country girls. Country girls. Girls can chop trees down.